is very interesting for me because there are countries that, because the definition says that there are the 20 governments that have industrialized influence on the global trade, and among these countries are some of the poorest countries that are struggling with debt. They have the highest national debt, such as Brazil and Turkey. I don't understand why they're the part of the G20. The only thing that I could say is that is this political, I would say, political wings, which, for instance, Brazil or Turkey is a part of that wing.
Well,
you know.
I mean, they're both. I mean, particularly Brazil, I think it was an incredibly wealthy country.
Absolutely. I'm not saying it's not
I know.
wealthy.
I mean, but if we look at it,
historically.
Well, and also, we have this is like the American exceptionalism. Okay, to me, I get a kick out of this. Is the only thing we look at is dollars and debts and all that. But wealth doesn't come from that. That's all paper.
Absolutely.
Wealth comes from your natural resources.
Thank you.
It comes from the intelligence of people,
farming.
all that stuff. And Brazil, is probably, anyone look on the map, they probably got next to Russia more natural resources than
Absolutely.
than-
So does Argentina.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not
Chile.
sure as much, but yeah. Now Turkey would be interesting. I'm curious why Turkey.
Turkey has the highest inflation.
Right.
But I'm telling you, it's like one of the.
But they like that because and Brazil being in debt, because where do you think they got their money? They got them from these other countries and
Absolutely.
countries that have had leaders that have been willing to put the whole country in debt is what drives the G8 and the G20 and the IMF and all that stuff. So I get all that. Let's talk, because I'm curious. Turkey hasn't quite kicked in yet. That's a mystery. I'm curious. Maybe we'll find out in this program.
Well, Turkey is a very rich country.
Is it rich?
No, it is. It could be one of the richest countries, but
where does their wealth come? When you say rich, what
they have
Brazil's easy.
Well, Brazil is easy, but then we get to Brazil. How do they make that one of the richest countries like Brazil to one of the poorest country that it is in debt?
Oh yeah.
Then it goes back to the debts that Brazil actually has through the World Bank.
Right.
Again, but Turkey.
That's all. Isn't that really well covered by what's the guy? Confessions of an Economic Hitman.
The Hitman.
That's a great understanding of this dynamic. Okay?
Yes, we will get to that because actually last time we were discussing about the Economy Hitman, that not only that the Economy Hitman explain why they force debt to developing nations such as Brazil, such as Ecuador, such as even Iraq. He explained very well why. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Saddam Hussein, but why that crisis, the financial crisis happened in Iraq in form of the forced war, a stage war, basically. Not once, actually. I would say 3 times. Well, the first time was Iraq-Iran war. The second war was the Persian Gulf War at the time of the Bush Senior, and the last one was
still going on.
The Junior, which is still going on. But Turkey, number one, Turkey has natural resources such as coal. Coal is the main resources that they have, definitely, and they have definitely some gas, and their agriculture is not something that we can ignore. For instance, their main export is grapes, like in form of raisins and things like that. But I don't want to get to that point.
I'm going to bring something in because I don't have the answer to this. This is just the one connection recently that I found out about that may be relevant here, and we can move on if it's not.
Sure.
But one of the things I learned was cedar trees in Russia have remarkable powers, and cedar oil is revered by, it's kind of a esoteric kind of thing, but it's extremely valuable on the world market. And we don't even know that it's significant, so we don't even think about it here. But I've been finding that's just my ignorance, that there's things. And the connection is that up until recently, all of that was secretly smuggled out of Russia to Turkey, of all things.
Sure.
So Turkey was somehow at the core of this.
Thank you for mentioning that.
Okay, go ahead.
No, thank you for mentioning.
Somehow Turkey is at the core of this secret resource distribution to the royalty and powers that be.
Absolutely.
And they didn't even want anyone to know that the cedar oil was important.
Sure.
And significant. And this guy stumbled on that whole fact, and he was threatened with death.
Yeah, not only that, but also Turkey has a good relationship with Iran, and if you want to get anything out of Iran, it's through Turkey.
Through Turkey.
So Iran is a source of natural gas and petroleum.
Okay, so here we're seeing a pattern: is these two countries that, they have, there's a similarity here. We don't deal with Iran.
Yeah.
The world doesn't supposedly. Okay.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Yeah, thank you.
And then we don't deal with Russia, supposedly. Yeah. Okay. So Turkey channels all this.
Exactly.
What do you call that in the mafia or the racketeering? When you've got a channel.
Yeah. Sort of like a middle guy.
You're the channel.
Sort of like a middle guy.
Middle guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Turkey has, and Turkey, interesting historically, I think has provided this role.
Yeah.
Right, for centuries, maybe millennia.
For centuries,
of channeling.
Absolutely.
We call it black market, whatever.
Absolutely, because.
Hashish.
Exactly. Because when you go back even to.
And it was interesting because I was talking. I mentioned in the last show about this woman I was talking to about 9/11. Well, we got talking, and the obvious thing is obvious. One of them is our rollover in both those countries, Iraq and is oil, but really I begin to suspect that it's really not much deeper than that. The oil we can get from other places. What we really value is the poppy seeds and the heroin trade, because that's how the CIA and all the secret things that are off budget in the government are funded.
Right? The lithium in Afghanistan too. Lithium,
Right. So these are the resources that are really important to the powers that be.
It's very interesting because you mentioned that, because the hashish and the opium comes from Afghanistan, and one of the reasons that we are in Afghanistan is that there are videos that I can provide next show, that shows that lots of farmers actually now grow poppies, and
puppies or poppies?
Poppies. I'm sorry. Poppies are,
Puppies probably be another class.
But then they went through the small towns.
Poppies. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Jennifer. Go ahead.
Well, then they went through the small towns and villages, taking the knives that the people used to scrape the poppy seeds out of the plant with. They went and took the knives away from the people to, quote unquote, stifle drug trafficking. But then our troops are guarding the poppy fields. So
yes.
Right. So who took the knives away?
I believe our troops did.
Really?
This was on Fox News.
It wasn't the Taliban? Because my understanding is the Taliban has actually done its best to try to suppress the drug trade, because they realize what an insidious thing it is for the country.
That was only on the surface, because they made it ready. What Taliban did, they made ready because, again, problem, reaction, solution. There are two sides of the coins.